All right, we're going to do this one. This is going to be another example problem of charge interactions. This one was on one of the tests, and I noticed it confused a lot of people because it really seemed like a run-on sentence. So I'm going to read it and try to stay with me when I read it. All right, so it says, object B is attracted to C, which is attracted to A. Object D repels object A and is positive. What are all of the charges of B, C, and D? And I actually meant to say A. Okay, so we're going to find out all of the charges of all of them. Okay, so that just really seemed like a run-on sentence. What would you do when you have a big juicy paragraph like this and it just seems like a blob of words? The best thing to do is try to, why don't you try to like separate it out? So it says object B. Okay. Object B is attracted to, so I'm just going to say is attracts C. All right. And C attracts, there you go, A. And then it says object D repels, oops, that's ugly. I'm sorry. Object D repels A and is positive. Okay, so I'll just put that. All right. And it says, what are all of the charges? So let me make sure I got it. So it says object B is attracted to C. C is attracted to A. D repels A and is positive. So what are all of the charges? Okay, so now I think we have all, look at that. We just simplified it by putting it in this little tiny thing right here. So you are in charge. You can do stuff like that, okay? So now let's go on. Let's do what I showed you in the last question. In order to solve this, it's always best to write everything out. So I'm going to write all the key players out, A, B, C, and D, okay? And they could all be positive, or they could be negative, okay? Or they could be neutral. All right. So we're going to find out what all of the charges are not so that we can tell what they all could be, okay? So here it is. Going forward. It says, object B attracts C. Well, again, we know that for an attraction to happen, it can either happen if you have two opposites or the neutrals being attracted to, all of that. And you're just going to have a huge web of all the possibilities. So we're going to move on. So C attracts A. Still nothing. D repels A and is positive. Okay, so now we have just gotten two very key pieces of information. D is repelling A. And if it's repelling A, you know for one that neither of them can be neutral because they have to be the same charge. And you also know that D is positive. Easy. Okay. And if D is positive and it repels A, then you know that A is not negative. So we have just found a lot of information out in just this one right here. Okay. So going back to the top, but before I go back to the top, remember, just so you can keep track of what you solved, cross out the letters. So I figured out what D was, I figured out what A was, so I'm just going to cross all those off. And you don't stop going until you can say that you have at least tried crossing off every single one of these. So let's go back to the top. Object B attracts C. Still nothing. C attracts A. Okay, well that's helpful. C is attracted to A. Well, you know for sure that C cannot be positive, right? Can't be positive because if it's positive, then they would repel. So there you go. I figured out what C possibly could be. Like we know that I can't go any further. I can't say that C is negative for sure. I cannot cross this off right here. Can't do that because it actually could be attracted to this neutral as well. So we're gonna move on. Now it says object B attracts C. Well, B is, if it's attracted to C, then you know it can't be negative, right? You know that because that combination will never work. If negative and a negative come together, then it's going to repel. But this could be attracted to C in that way, and it could also be attracted in that way. So that's the best we really can do. Like we have tried our hardest, and that's the best we can do. So at the end of the day, I would say that A is for sure positive. B can be either positive or neutral. C can be negative or neutral. And D is positive. And that is the best that we can do. Like, you don't actually have to cross every single one of them out and only have one answer for each one. This is the best that we can come up with. So there you have it. And remember, like the method I showed you, in order to know that you've done the best you can do, don't stop until you can actually put a line through each one of these and say, okay, well, I figured this out as best as I can. Cross them off and then you'll know. Okay, I need to keep on going back and reading this line. Okay, if you have any questions, you should probably come in and see me. Okay, bye-bye.